It's time for the Lowco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Oh. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Lowco Sports Lowdown. I'm Max Araj, joined alongside Wes Kerr and Marcus Walsh. Fellas, like the title of tonight, it is the night before Heritage. Round one begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we got quite an interesting field set up for this tournament. 10 of the top 12 golfers in the world, 43 of the top 50 in the world are all here this week, along with other recognizable names off of exemptions and whatnot. So, very interesting RBC Heritage this year. Obviously, because it's a signature event, so there's a higher money purse for the tournament of $20 million, I believe, as well as FedEx Cup points as well. 700 FedEx Cup points are on the line this week. So it's one of their few signature events on the PGA Tour, and we can't be more happy to have it that way. But before we get into that, I just want to ask, fellas, how are y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm getting fired up for tomorrow. It's one of the best times of the year. The anticipation for this tournament is pretty awesome. The buzz around the island as we get closer and closer to the day of tomorrow when this thing gets going. Of course, the pro-am today, yesterday, we had the
opening ceremony stuff.
Ceremonies where our guy Scotty Scheffler drove the ceremonial drive into the Calabogie Sound, and here we are. Tomorrow, things officially get underway, and we'll get going with some tremendous golf. And I'll tell you, we talked about yesterday how this tournament continues to bring out the best on the tour, the best in the world, and Max, I'm sure you have numbers somewhere in front of you. We are once again going to be treated to watching the best play and most of the top in the world to tee it off tomorrow.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
If I can interject, if you guys don't mind for a second, doing well. I've had some family in town for the last few days, so predominantly the last couple of days I've been spending a lot of time with them. Have some WHHI business and other business getting ready for Easter to take care of tomorrow and Friday. Happy Holy Heritage Week, everybody, to all who celebrate both. So getting ready for the weekend. I'm going to be at the Heritage on Saturday. Sam's never been, so I'm taking her for the first time ever. And this will actually be the first time that I'm going since 2019. I used to work the event, checking all the bus DVDs the WHHI produced to make sure they were working. I was kind of like I couldn't fix them worth a darn, but I made sure that the volume was up, the pictures looked good, and I knew who to talk to if there was an issue. So that's what I did from 2015 to 19. I went as a spectator in 2014 and maybe even in 13 as well. But this will be my first time back since 2019, and I'm thrilled to be getting back. But again, kind of getting into a new season where there's a little bit less work, a little bit more creative opportunities and that type of thing. But to get to the Heritage on Saturday, spend time with a bunch of family and certainly Sam's family on Sunday after church and all of that. Really looking forward to the rest of this week. And certainly hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing very well indeed.
It's great to hear. Great to hear.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get up the numbers here of what the playing field looks like. We briefly talked about it last night.
Did you guys pick winners by chance?
We were going to do that tonight.
That's posted. Okay, perfect. I've got mine.
Players field. Here we go. Where is it? Is this the full field here? Yes, here we go. All right, so multiple names. 10 of the top 12 golfers in the world are all going to be here, including the defending champion of the RBC Heritage and the defender of that tartan jacket. Scotty Scheffler will be competing for another Heritage. Alongside him will be Ludwig Oberg, Victor Hovland. Who else? Xander Schauffele,
Colin
Patrick,
Morikawa, Justin
Wyndham
Thomas.
Clark, Colin Morikawa, Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, the names go on and
Yeah.
on. Jordan Spieth, Billy Horschel is going to be here. Max Homa,
Ton of great guys.
just a ton of main stage golfers. Shane Lowry is also going to be here. Who else?
Will Zalatoris, who
Yes, Will Zalatoris.
just a few years
Yeah.
ago
Yeah.
was
He needs
really
to.
getting
He needs a
rolling
good
as a
week
good
this
guy.
week.
Yes, he had
Sepp Straka as well. So I mean, like a lot of names, a lot of great names. For
Mackenzie
this.
Hughes, Adam Scott, Ryan Gerard,
terrific field, and
Billy
obviously
Horschel.
this is a elevated events, and there are only I don't know the exact number, but there's only several of them that exist throughout the schedule for the PGA Tour. So obviously the tour knows how important this event is. The tour knows how much players love to come here, and the stakes continue to be raised here. Take a look at the. You can find the prize money, $20 million, and the winner takes home $3.6 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
that's nuts.
very good purse.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I remember it was a big deal when it crossed $1 million. I don't know how long ago, but it wasn't very far when we made a big deal about crossing $1 million. Now it's 3.6 million, which is insane.
Yeah, that's a crazy number. But again, like we said,
Right,
this is
this
the
is
signature
yeah,
event.
PGA Tour. I mean, this is the best in the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
this is
But
high
it's
stakes.
also but it's also one of their mainstay signature events. Now,
as you would expect for
and
elevated
I
signature.
think it's part of the reason, and we talked about it last night, is the golfers love playing here. They all do. Everyone that shows up loves this course, and they love the whole week and the aspect of the Heritage and all the fun and excitement that the Heritage brings. They all, of course, love Java Burrito, which, who can't say no to
Yeah.
Java Burrito, man?
It's tremendously
That's
run by a ton of great people. I want to give a quick shout out. I know a few people that work with this organization, but the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber obviously does a great job, bringing business into the communities of Bluffton, for sure, but also for Hilton Head. And that is what this event is. Yes, it's a golf tournament, but it's also like a huge social gathering party for
Yeah.
all of the low country and visitors to go to. And I expect big things this weekend for sure.
Yep.
I would say, having worked it several times too over the years, be sure to have, some rain gear ready for one of the days. I don't mean to jinx anything, but it's just my common
Well,
knowledge being out there a lot that
Well, I will
chances
tell you
are
what, I
one
will
of the
take a look at the
days
weather. For the last time I saw it was pretty
it looks pretty
ideal. Yeah.
dang good for
I'll
this
tell you
week.
what, we've
Might
had
get
several
lucky.
years where we've had to dodge some rain or dodge some thunderstorms, especially as it got to the weekend. But last time I checked, if I pulled up here, it is almost as perfect as Justin always says, Chamber of Commerce like weather. When you look at the full week, there is little to no chance of rain at all. Thursday through Sunday, the course is going to be played ideal conditions. So,
Yeah.
I mean that's going to certainly
As good as
play a
it
role.
gets.
Yeah, yeah. The wind is going to get to, I mean, not too bad, 11 miles per hour. So we could see some good scores if the wind continues to be at a minimum, or at least compared to what
Right.
we have seen. Where you see the rain and just the high winds of when you see storms come in, the wind coming up on the Calabogie Sound can make this course really difficult to play. But in ideal conditions, we should see the best of the world show up and deliver some quality golf. It's like I said, the conditions are going to be almost perfect in terms of what you want to see as a spectator, as a fan. Should be really entertaining. Now I do enjoy when it gets to the windy, stormy conditions. But I'll tell you what, last year when we had to be bunkered inside after, and then we had to push it to Monday It doesn't look like we're going to have a Monday finish this year. Knock on wood, but it doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about that this year.
I'll knock on wood twice for you, Wes.
Yeah, it sounds good to
There's
me.
number 2. Yeah. I remember that last year too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just
You're there too, Max.
here's the top. We have, let me see, so in terms of world golf rankings, we have numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 20. So that is unbelievable. And
Key to the
that's
top
something
10.
we don't. Yeah, in the top 10, we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
That is
Uh,
remarkable.
Number
It's
2
awesome.
obviously would be Rory McIlroy, who's sitting at number
Yep.
2 right now. So he is not here.
Obviously, taking the week off. He's got a green
taking the
jacket.
week off. Well deserved.
There's really only 2 guys that I can think of off the top of my head, Rory being one, that have the thoughts about the course that they do, and the other is Tiger.
Tiger.
That
Yep.
they
Yeah,
had
obviously.
not played this course in a really long time, and when they do, they don't play well. And I'm not sure
Well,
about
it
the
doesn't
last
suit every
time
style of
Rory's
golf.
played or if he has ever played, but I know Tiger did, and it didn't go well. The course just doesn't quite
It's
fit
a
their
shot
game.
maker's
It's
course.
small and narrow.
It's not all about hitting the ball far. You got to be selective
Right.
in where you hit. That's everything. If you're a bit to the
Yeah.
left or the right, you're going to have trees in your way, or it's going to be difficult.
Yeah,
That's yep.
definitely part of it. Like I think in this aspect, for Rory, I think Rory not only can he hit the ball far, but he's very good with his technical aspects, which I'd always thought would have him play really well on this course. Because I mean, this course is, in terms of technical aspects, one of the toughest courses in terms of your technical game, because you got to be
Right.
smart in choosing the right club. You got to be smart in making the right shot, because if you don't make the right shot, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble on this course. And it kind of reminds me of Augusta a little bit, just totally different courses, but same kind of aspect. If you don't choose the right club and the right shot, you're going to be in serious trouble on this course. It just makes me think that way. But I think for Rory, yeah, he does hit the ball hard. I mean, that is a given. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, granted, he deserves the
Sure.
week off. He definitely
Absolutely.
deserves that
And
week.
congrats to him to
And I hope
finish
he's
off that
enjoying-
Grand Slam,
Yeah.
to support Northern Ireland, to be
Yeah,
there
I
for
hope-
his home
Yeah,
country.
and everybody, like I said
Love
last night on the show, everybody was rooting for him. I think if you were a golf
Oh,
fan, for a casual
absolutely.
fan, you were
Yeah.
rooting for him to get the job done.
And he's
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and all the feelings towards Justin Rose, who actually will be here this week at the Heritage.
Right.
It's tough for him to get that villain status, but hey, he's had a great run of it the last few years. Certainly, the back half of his career has been really, really solid, and that's a guy we'll have to keep an eye on as well. Week playing Harbor Town, certainly he should get lots of attention out there throughout the next few days, but. Yeah, Rory got his time in the sun. He gets his victory lap. Gets to go on all the late night shows, and then all the attention back home across the pond. But enough about Rory. Let's talk about what's going on here in Harbor Town, because Scotty Scheffler, of course, our defending champion. You mentioned how good this field is. Really at the top, 8 of the top 10, and almost the entirety of the top 20 as well. It's incredible. How these players continue to embrace and enjoy being a part of this experience here and playing Harbor Town and all the challenges that it provides. But I think we're going to be in for another fantastic tournament, and one that I think is going to be pretty wide open in terms of those first tiers of guys. I think there are a couple of favorites that we will certainly mention, but I think that's going to be an event that will be there for the taking if someone's able to find that groove and produce on those opportunities they get when they're able to hit those quality shots throughout a course where if you get on a roll, and if you're able to find that strong approach game, you can really make a run. It's going to be interesting to see who who of those top guys can find a way to get off to that strong start and or if not, just find a way to hang in and because there's no cut, you don't have to worry about that. Find a way to at least hang
Right.
in there until the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that's definitely going to be one of the things that we got to see on this course and how the next, 2 rounds go out.
Max, I think your audio is a little muffled.
You're crackling, Max.
All right,
With the
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Wes, for sure. I mean, I've got a couple of guys that I'm thinking of that could possibly do, really well. One in particular, but there are a lot of guys who have had a lot of experience at this tournament, within the last few years, and some going back a ways, to when
Yeah.
I got here in 2013, or technically 2012, to the Low Country. But I definitely know the guy that I'm going with.
Yeah, me too. Before we get to that, though, we'll go with our before we get to all of this, and tell us everyone what our choice is for who's going to win. We're going to do our sponsor, of course, our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm. Is our original sponsor, and all-star sponsor is our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of course, our HHCA coverage. Call on Mickelson Law Firm for all your legal needs. Fellas, the pairings for round 1 start off at 8 a.m. tomorrow with Nick Taylor and a name we mentioned yesterday, Bud Cauley. And then, we got a lot of other names, Matt Kuchar at 8:20, Max Homa at 8:30. Let's see, where did the real stuff get?
Around 10 or so, 10:15.
Yep.
It starts with really
10:05.
It starts with Tommy Fleetwood, who I feel like he could be a contender, someone who we have seen perform well throughout the recent past, but it really gets even
more interesting.
Another level. They ratchet up another level because you got Scotty Scheffler, the defending champ, which should garner a huge crowd.
He's paired with Victor Hovland. That's a great pairing. I'm excited for that.
Nice.
And there's some other good pairings following them. Corey Connors and Justin Thomas follow right after them. Jordan Spieth and Shane Lowry in a group together. Lucas Glover, JJ Spawn, and then you get down later in the day and you start seeing some of the more names, like at 12 o'clock, 12:30, you got Jason Day and Tony Finau. Who else? Brian Harmon will be on at 1 o'clock.
And then 1:30, Oberg and Schauffele.
That's a good one.
Yes.
How about the one right after them? How about the one right after them? Morikawa and Sahith Theegala.
So we got a nice little morning group. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably hang around that morning group in that 10, mid 10 o'clock window, and then shift over to that 1:30 to 1:50 grouping. I think that'll provide the most entertainment value, and also guys that should find a way to at least stay in this thing or charge to the top. So you never know. Thursdays are weird. You always have somebody you don't expect. You look at like a KGA Choi. I remember several years where he went off to a hot start and then dipped off the rest of the time. There have been guys like that. Cameron Young recently, in most recent history, who have gone off to some good starts and then have faded fast. So you can't take too much into account on Thursday, but you can. You certainly can lose it or find a way out of it if it doesn't go well. You got to at least put up a strong number to start it off, or at least find a way to get in the par. I know there's no cut, but you still, if you want to find a way to stay in contention, you got to put up at least a solid score. You don't want to put yourself too much behind on that first day. So.
Yeah, especially with this field that we're having this year, you don't want to get behind, or else you're going to be in some serious trouble, no matter who's on this field. But even if this was like a regular non-signature event, if you get behind on this course, it's hard to get back into it. So definitely intrigued to see what that entails in terms of how strong this field is this year. I mean, we've seen some strong fields. This might be one of the stronger fields we've seen over the last few years, and it's definitely showing. So I'm
I
very
think the last few years, I think Jordan Spieth's win had a big, just important vibe to it because you saw a well-known guy like Spieth win this tournament. That was, and then you saw the elevated status, which has been going on just the recent past few years, which has really brought the best to compete year in and year out. And it's an honor to get an invite. I mean, the elevated status events. It is a prestigious opportunity invitation to play an event like this. So it's you really have to be at the top tier of golf worldwide to be invited to play in this tournament. So we've seen in the past, we've seen some sponsor exemptions when the tournament was a traditional one before these last few years, but now, I mean, it's pretty much every player has shown that they can play here, and it's makes it exciting just because of the level of competition that you get across the board almost.
You said it right there, Wes. I'm taking a look just to verify that I'm going to go with the guy I'm thinking of for my winner, and there have only been a handful. I think technically less than a handful. I think there have only been 4 guys from what I'm seeing, courtesy of HeritageTournamentLive.net, that have won it more than once. Only 4. And certainly it's been a while, according to what I'm looking at, since it last happened. You have to go back, according to this, to Davis Love III in 1991 and 92. I was, just a little kid at that time, starting to swing the Fisher Price Golf Club set thing. Other guys that have done it, I believe it was Hal Irwin in 71 and 73. Fuzzy Zeller, who had a great career in 83 and 86. And there was, I thought, one other name that I saw that has won twice. I'm sure this is Johnny Miller in 1972 and 74.
Yep.
They're the only ones. I'll double check, but I think they are the only ones that I see that have done it twice. So that's some of the greats from years past.
right. Yeah, that's definitely definitely something to watch. I'm looking up the odds here. Hold on one second. Obviously, we know who's in first. It's 100% Scotty Scheffler, and it's by a lot too. Plus 400 compared to second place Morikawa at plus 1100 to win this tournament, as well as Schauffele at plus 1100. So
I think
obviously,
Scotty's at 360. He's
at
he's like sub 400 according to CBS Sports.
Depends on where you're looking in terms of the odds.
Odds on him,
right?
Which is crazy to think about. But granted, I mean, one of the things we noticed from last week, like that third round he had at Augusta, what he struggled the most with, and it's so rare to see from him, is his iron game. Struggled a lot at Augusta. He seemed to have figured it out by Sunday. And I just have a feeling that's what went into the odds, because obviously he finished solo 4th. I mean, he wasn't far behind from winning it again, for a third time. And so, which is crazy to say, but that's how good he's been over the last few years or so. But I mean, 360 odds compared to 1100-ish odds as second place. I mean, that's clear and obvious. They think he's the favorite, and it is more likely true than not, just by how good of a golfer he is. I mean, we all remember this time last year he was on what was an absolute tear across
even 2 years ago.
Yeah,
even 2 years
ago.
And
then 22 last
year.
My goodness.
I mean, just incredible to see what he was doing a year ago and be able to watch him.
We hadn't seen anything like that. Anything like that.
That Sunday became Monday, but Monday was just a coronation. He he did the
Right.
work on Sunday and
Yeah,
Saturday
we
to
knew
get
what was
himself in
going
that
on there.
spot.
Yeah,
But when we saw him, just when he really closed it out, he closed it out in front of like just tens of people that were able to wait out the rain delay, and got a couple of more um, terrific results on the back nine to really
yep,
shut the door from anyone else coming back, or at least staying in that striking distance. He ran away with it, and deservedly so. He was playing some lights out golf. I expect to see some others in the thick of it this year, but I do think that Scotty right now, well deserving of that number one ranking in the WGR as we see it right now. So he's going to be one to watch. He's going to generate a ton of gallery folks throughout the weekend and throughout the weekend starting to tomorrow. So he's the guy that has become. We've seen it. We've seen others like Jordan Spieth just a few years ago. Everyone was talking about him, but he has become the face of golf, and to have that guy as your champion here, that is something we've never
yeah,
seen. Because you just look at,
Yeah.
of course, Tiger Woods in his heyday, he was the face of golf. McIlroy, you can argue he was, or maybe still is one of them, especially after what happened this past weekend. But I think if you ask most people in the States, golf fans, Scotty Scheffler is that guy. He has become the face of golf. And certainly there has been some hijinks over the last few years, and it just his overall play has soared above most of his competition, or pretty much all of his competition. And he has become that figure that everyone has become to know as someone who's going to produce, and no matter what turn it is, and to
yeah,
become that star power for his sport. So
yeah.
to have that as our champion, I think, is really special and something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. And he definitely has a chance to win it this week too. Like he always plays well on this course. So I mean, he's at plus 4,000 odds. That's not bad at all. If you want to talk odds and what experts think on him and stuff like that. Uh, the one thing I had noticed during Augusta for him was he was struggling with his game overall. Struggling to make good shots, especially off the tee box. So well, I'm intrigued to see how he turns it around. I mean, obviously he made the cut last week at Augusta, and he didn't finish terrible. I think he finished like 1 or 2 under par, which isn't bad. But he's just not this Jordan Spieth that we saw years ago when he won the Masters and then the U.S. Open not long after that, and had what they called him as the golden boy at the time because he was having a year unheard of at one point. So uh, he's got a lot of work to do, but I have a feeling like he could have a really good week and surprise some people by winning this tournament. So I wouldn't put it past him to definitely finish in the top 5, if not top 10, 100%. So
I could see that for sure. A
yeah,
top 5 finish, maybe even top
I
10.
could definitely see that in him. But yeah, so with that being said, let's get to our next set of sponsors. We definitely want to welcome back Hudson Seafood House on the docks to our Loco Booster Club. A great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head. And also a presenting sponsor of our great show of Under the Bus. Um, Probably don't want to go there this week. I have a feeling it's extremely busy, so getting a reservation to go there might be interesting. We also want to present our 2 new sponsors, Hilton Head Furniture, the Satola family, good friends of mine, and proud sponsors of Hilton Head Christian Academy Athletics over the years, and our newest sponsor, Hilton Head Windows and Doors, our former Hilton Head Prep coach, Mr. Barron himself.
Richard Barron.
Yeah,
Yes.
Richard Barron, getting into the window business, which I think that's great, and I'm so happy that he's here with us as one of our sponsors on Loco Sports. All right, gentlemen, I think we should make our decisions on who we think are our favorites to win this tournament. How about I have an idea. Pick your favorite to win and pick a dark horse as well.
Love it. Let's start with the dark. Or which one should we start off with first?
Ooh, Give us your favorite and then your dark horse.
Okay. All
I
right,
think that
Marcus.
makes it more interesting.
I'll let you go first if you're ready.
Marcus, a favorite and a dark horse.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
For
we can
some
hear you.
reason, my screen is all funky now. I had a quick
It's
call
okay.
from the boss.
Yeah.
I'll try to fix the screen here in a second. My favorite and my dark horse. I'll give you my dark horse first, and it's a
Okay.
guy that has had some success here for previous years. I think I can't remember if it was in 2018 or maybe 2017 that he did really well and was down to the towards the end and couldn't quite finish it. My dark horse is Colin Morikawa. I think Colin has a
As a
chance.
dark horse, really?
I wouldn't call
And
him the
yeah,
dark horse.
I know he's listed as, second odds, but there's a
Okay.
big thing, a
uh,
big difference, as we said, from Scotty Scheffler to Colin Morikawa. So I think that he's
Yeah.
going to come out and he's going to give, everybody a run for their money and have a really
Okay.
good week. The guy I'm picking to win it, if you didn't guess it by now, I'm kind of surprised. I'm going with the favorite. I'm going with Scotty. He,
right.
could have won the Masters last week. Rory obviously was great. And Scotty had a little bit of trouble there on the weekend. Came back roaring to make it interesting for a top 5 finish. But based off what he's done the last couple of years, winning it, last year and having a great time here. I mentioned the guys that have only won it twice. It is a really, really small list. 4 guys, and only one that won it in back-to-back years, being Davis Love III in the 70s. I like Scotty Scheffler to join those guys, much like everybody talks about Archie Griffin in football winning the Heisman Trophy twice for the same team. I think Scotty's going to use what didn't work last week to his advantage at this course and not get too far ahead of himself. I think he's going to have a great weekend starting tomorrow. Scotty Scheffler, my winner. Colin Morikawa, my dark horse.
All right.
Wes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously going favorite to Scotty Scheffler, a popular pick to don the tartan jacket for the second year in a row. I remember Boo Weekley when he won 2 in a row. Obviously, different
that's
kind of
right.
situation there because how many people knew about Boo when he won? Scotty, of course, everybody knew who Scotty was when he won it last year, but still,
Right.
it's hard to win back-to-back championships or back-to-back tournaments here. It's certainly Boo Weekley accomplished something when he did that, but on the other hand, the tournament's just a lot tougher to win now. So winning back to back now would be more of an accomplishment compared to what we saw back in 2007, 2008 for sure. But I guess I will go next. I'll pick my 2. I'll add in I'll add in a third, but for a bonus because I wanted to shout him out as well. I was kind of in between. It wasn't like a favorite. It wasn't like a dark horse. Someone that definitely you should keep an eye on. So I'll start with my sleeper, I guess, or sleeper dark horse, same thing. I'm going to go with a local guy, somewhat of a local guy, because he's from Savannah. He already has a major championship to his credit. He won the Open Championship a couple of years ago, and he's done well in the past year. And he's ranked inside the top 25 of the world golf rankings, and already has a win very recently to his name. And I think that he has the tools to contend and be in it as we go down the stretch on Saturday and Sunday. I like the way he's been playing, and I think that he has a real opportunity of breaking through or at least making it interesting. And that's my boy Brian Harman. Brian Harman, the Savannah native who has been knocking on the door here at Harbortown the last few years. And of course, the champion of the Valero Texas Open just 2 weeks prior. Maybe a little bit disappointing finishing the Masters T36, but still nothing to be ashamed of when you get in that range at Augusta. Not a bad finish by all means. And then, I mean, the consistency has been in and out, but certainly what we saw at the Texas Open a couple weeks ago was very encouraging. The way his putting was outstanding.
Yeah.
1.30 strokes gained putting. His approach was phenomenal as well,
Yep.
and that's what it takes to win here. You got to have those strong approach shots. I think if he can keep stay out of trouble, and because there have been times where his inconsistency has really plagued him. If he can stay out of trouble and play this course the way that we've seen him play it, he is going to be in contention this week. So I like Brian Harmon as someone to, as a dark horse kind of sleeper, or so someone who could find a way to kind of get nowhere and find his winning contention. I'll give you a second guy before I go with my favorite to win here this week. And that is a guy that, if you've been following this tournament for the last few years, you've seen his name on a leaderboard pretty much at one point every weekend, every point midway through this tournament. Like, watch out for this guy. He's making a run, and do not count this guy out. At least most years, it seems like he's been in there. There have been years where he has been, middling, but someone you have to keep an eye on anytime he comes here. And that's Corey Connors, who had a really good Masters, finished tied for eighth of the Valspar, tied for sixth of the Players, and then third in our par. So he has been putting up some really good results this year. This might be his best all-around year we have seen from him. He's had some solid years. 2023 was he won the Valero, so I guess you can't drop him too much for that. But there have been years where he looked good several different times, but the consistency wasn't there. He has 4 top tens since March, 4 top 10 finishes, and then another top 10 in the Century back in January. So I think he's kind of due for a victory very soon. Maybe this is the week where he gets over that hump. Really impressed what he did at Augusta. 1.55 stroke gains approach shots was fantastic.
Yeah.
And only 0.2 putting. So if he made a couple more putts, he really could have been in this thing. So I think if he really finds that putting stroke this week, watch out for Corey Connors. So I'm putting his name as someone, that second tier, someone you really want to watch. And then for my favorite, I'm going to go with the guy that Marcus put as his dark horse. I like Colin Morikawa. You look at what he's done this year. Very close to winning two runner-up finishes this season already. Had a top 10 at the Players. His approach shots have been terrific, great consistency. The only thing I worry about Morikawa is the putting. But if he can get to the level that we saw earlier on in the season, and just early on in his career, I feel like he is someone who has the capabilities of winning here. You look at the recent past, playing in the Heritage, top 10 last year, not as good the year before that. But I think that this is someone who two out of the last 4 years, he's been close to winning it. And if he can put it all together, I think he is as capable as anyone to taking home the tartan at the end of the day. So I think there were a couple you can choose from that really have a chance to win this thing. I think there are several. I almost went with Oberg. I feel like he was someone who's been playing some great golf, but just a little bit of inconsistency. He's missed the cut. He missed the cut, the Players and the Valero. So I can't bank too much on him, but still someone who can make some noise. But yeah, when you just look at the top contenders and those guys in the top 10, obviously Patrick Cantlay is someone who I have picked before and no doubt can win this year. I would not be surprised if he wins it this year. But I'm liking Colin Morikawa. I have a feeling that he's going to be at least in contention towards the end, if not to find a way to take it home in a tight finish. But Marcus, I think you have the safe play in Scotty. I think, if you take him, he has the highest odds of winning this week. I mean, if you're a betting man, he would be the right call. But I'm going to go with Colin Morikawa, someone who has the capabilities of getting that victory here at Harbortown.
Max, how many guys are you going with? 2 or 3?
I'm gonna do a dark horse, a player to watch, and my favorite.
Okay, after you're finished, I'm gonna pick a third as well because I didn't realize that Wes was gonna
Well, no,
go
I
that
did.
way.
I don't mind it. I actually like it.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah. My dark horse. I've debated about this one because I was picking between two guys, but I have to go with this one because I think he's the better dark horse option, and I think it's Will Zalatoris. I think he's due for a win. He needs one. He's struggled, but he had an injury that kept him out for a little while. So for him to come back, I think this is the course for him to do it on. I could see him winning it, absolutely. And for those reasons, with his odds right now at plus 9,000, I had to go with Zalatoris in this one. My player to watch, this guy's finished. Let me think here. He finished in 2022. He finished tied for third at the RBC Heritage. In 2024, last year, he tied for fifth, shooting 12 under in 2022 and 14 under in 2024. And that guy is JT Poston. This dude has always played well on this course, and I just have a weird feeling like he could definitely win this tournament. Like I think if he has a really good round, I think he could win the tournament. I definitely see him as like that, great player to watch. I had to debate between him and Brian Harman because I think Brian Harman. I think Brian Harman knows this course well enough. He grew up not
That home
far
course
from here,
advantage.
so he
That's another
understands that
factor I
course.
didn't mention, which is important.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not, I mean, there isn't too much. Not like you're not like other sports, but home course advantage, just knowing the area. I think there is something to be said about that.
But JT Poston has played so well on this course and has come so close to winning it too. I just have a feeling like he could definitely win this tournament if he has really good at least a good second and third round, and then finish it off with a good fourth round. If he can do all those things, I have a feeling he's going to be in contention and could definitely finish top 5 in the tournament because he's done it twice in his career here at the RBC Heritage. So I could definitely see him for that. My favorite, I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele. I just have a feeling like he's due for a really good round here at the Heritage. He didn't play. I think he did play last year, and he had a decent showing last year at the Heritage. But I like Schauffele. I think he's going to do good in this one. I think it will be between him and Scotty Scheffler for the win. I think Colin Morikawa is not far from it either. But I just have a feeling like Xander Schauffele is very good in his technical game, and I think that's what makes him really good. He's not the hardest hitter off the tee box. He's really good with his irons, and that's going to be really key on this course because it's all about the iron game on this course. So
hopefully he can putt better than he did at the Players a couple weeks ago, and then
if he can do.
Well, his playing was a lot better last week at Augusta, and he finished tied for 8th. So,
and I feel like if he's getting his putting game on par with that iron game that he has, that is really good. I just have a feeling like he could definitely walk away with this tournament win and a tartan jacket. So I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele as my favorite.
I almost went with another player, whether you want to say player to watch or a dark horse, with Will Zalatoris, because ever since he came onto the scene, he's been a favorite of mine. I'm actually, and we'll see, he will be a player to watch for sure to see if he can get back into the rhythm. But if I was to take a third, just taking a look at recent success and whatnot, I'm going to go with the guy that won the event 2 years ago, in Matthew Fitzpatrick. He ended up playing really well in that tournament 2 years ago, and you can never count him out. He's got a great game, and I think his game really does fit that course quite well.
And he knows this course really well too, because he used to come here as a kid with his dad and his family. Right. They'd come here for the Heritage year after year, so he knows the ins and outs of this course by the number of times he's been here, not only as a player but also as a fan and a spectator watching this great tournament take place. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, Marcus. He's definitely another player to watch because I just, he's already won the tournament here, but I just have a feeling like he knows the ins and outs of this course better than most golfers that are in this tournament. So I have a really good, I do like that. That's definitely another player to watch. So uh, those are our picks. So let's recap. Marcus had Morikawa as his dark horse. His player to watch was Matt Fitzpatrick. And his favorite, obviously the favorite for most of the experts, is Scotty Scheffler. Not shocking at all. For Wes Kerr, what was your dark horse? Your dark
Harmon.
horse. Harmon, yeah,
Brian
that's right.
Harmon,
Brian
yeah.
Harmon, the Savannah, Georgia native, and really the local player for this tournament because we don't really have anyone else close. I don't think we have a single player from South Carolina in this tournament this year.
I know we've had kids.
Yeah.
Remember, Kisner almost won it. West Bryan did in 17.
Yeah,
So we've had a couple in the past, but I
Dustin
will
Johnson
that will
is not
fact check.
here this
I
year.
will have to
So
check that. Just double check to make
yeah,
sure. But I think you might be
I'm
right.
pretty sure because the
Yeah,
only other player I could think of that would have been here but isn't is Dustin Johnson,
yeah,
and he's obviously from Columbia.
right.
Um,
Yep, yeah, no doubt. But
so
yeah, I think you might be right about that. Yeah,
Yeah, Harmon as your dark horse. Your player to watch was what
the
was it?
Canadian
Corey
Corey
Connor.
Connors. Yes.
Corey Connors, and of course your favorite Colin Morikawa. Great picks, and then finally mine, dark horse, Will Zalatoris. Player to watch, JT Poston, which I just have a weird feeling, and my favorite, of course, Xander Schauffele. So we all had different picks, but I do like it like that. That makes it great and makes us see who ends up being right at the end of this tournament. So which usually doesn't happen often, but we'll see what happens because Marcus has a great pick in Scotty Scheffler. So with that, let's get our final rounds of sponsors here, and then we'll do our final thoughts and get out of here early and get ready for the first round of the Heritage Tournament tomorrow. Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. Uh, I'm not wearing my hoodie tonight, but you can get my hoodie that says "Calm Your Mitts" and many other things on at basehitlife.com. Live your best base hit life at basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor of Lowco Sports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton. He'll get you feeling right mind, body, and spirit. The Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind, our wrestling show that we do every now and then. Definitely check out if you're a kid and interested in doing wrestling. Definitely check out Reverence Wrestling Club. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floor is so clean, your feet will thank you. And of course, Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. A lot of great names go over to Jay's Barbershop. So definitely go and check them out. All right, fellas.
All right, Marcus, I'll let you go first since you're our guest. What's your parting thought for today?
Man, it's just great. We're in a very good time of year. Baseball's rolling, golf's rolling. We're getting ready for the NBA playoffs. It's a great time of year. It's a great time to be with you guys for sure. Um, a lot to celebrate, in particularly with this week. Obviously, it seems like I'll say 2 to 3 years, we have what I call a Happy Holy Heritage Week. Um, but first and foremost, amongst all of that, and I'm not going to try to get, you know, political or religious or anything, but if you have time this
Yep.
week to spend time with your loved ones, whether you have to travel or
Yep.
they travel to see
Yeah.
you or whatnot, and I'm speaking as somebody that just spent, time with my brother, my nephew, and my sister the last couple of days, and obviously living here, making the time is obviously big, and I was able to do that the last couple of days before they head to Ocala, Florida. Shout out to the Dartmouth Big Green equestrian team, and good luck to them in Ocala this weekend. That's where they're all heading now, starting tomorrow about noon. So just take those opportunities when they're given to you, and hold on to those that are near and dear. I'm going to be spending time later in the week with some of Samantha's family, and really looking forward to that, along with the heritage. And certainly was great to hop on kind of at the last minute with you fellas.
Yeah, well, we love having you being a part of this, and I love your energy because this is a great time of year for all of us, and the excitement that surrounds the Heritage. There's nothing like it around here. I'm cannot wait to head into Arbortown, make that drive tomorrow morning, and really get things
Same.
started. So looking forward to seeing hopefully some of our listeners and viewers there because I'm sure a lot of you will be coming visiting Harbortown and going to the tournament over this next 4-day span. And I might see some of you up there. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pumped. It's one of the best times of the year for sure. But I some more parting thoughts. We talked a lot about golf. But we do have other sports going on. I want to give a shout to the USCB softball team for their sweep today over Mount Olive. Two really excellent pitching performances. Mass Murphy and Sierra Kinlaw were both phenomenal today. And then the timely hitting got the job done when they needed to. Mackenzie Ford with a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 6th inning in Game 1, and then wasting no time in Game 2. It was Jaden Goodwin with a beautiful 2-run bomb over the left field fence. Just a towering fly ball that found a way to clear that left field barrier to give USCB a 2-0 lead, and then Sierra Kinlaw was just fantastic, so efficient. She didn't have a ton of strikeouts, but she was just really efficient, induced a lot of pop-ups early on, and just cruised through the first few innings. She finished 7 innings and 77 pitches, allowed just 1 walk, struck out only 4, but just the way she showed out in this game and the efficiency which she pitched with was really something special. And to have 2, dominant pitchers today in Kinlaw and Mass and Murphy, I mean, those are the 2 players. It's great to have a 1A and a 1B. It looks like USB has certainly had that. And then the other thing is to see the way Mackenzie Ford is swinging the bat recently. Had a great start, red hot, kind of dampered off a bit, but now to see her back where she, to see where she was earlier, and now to see her continue to rekindle that spark. Great to see for her and that team. And then Jaden Goodwin, really great spark plug, clutch hitter, someone who and that wasn't just the hitting. She made 2 spectacular catches on defense today. On there was a pop up into foul territory that she just lunged towards foul ground and caught it. Just an unbelievable athleticism on that catch, and just near the bunt attempt. On the run, just came out of nowhere to snag it. I'm really impressed with the way Jaden Goodwin has played, not just at the plate, but also defensively. So she's going to be a big spark plug down the stretch. But they have a big weekend series coming with Aiken to try and secure their spot. But right now in 8th, the top 8 teams make it. They're 1 game ahead of Augusta. They have the head-to-head tiebreaker in that sweep over Augusta. So if they're able to win this series, I really like their chances of securing that playoff spot.
Yeah, and I have a feeling like that series against USC Aiken is going to be really good for USCB too, because those teams are pretty much evenly matched if you look at them. So I have a good feeling about it, especially when you're at home for the weekend as well. So really, I'm excited for USCB softball, especially because they're on the brink of making their first appearance in the Peach Belt Conference tournament. So very excited about that. It is great to see it, especially with how much this team has improved from last season. I'm very excited to see them going and potentially be playing some conference tournament softball.
Getting that postseason experience is huge. This year, of course, you're ineligible, but next year you will be for the NCAA tournament. But just getting that postseason because the last few years they have not been able to qualify, which is it's not easy. Peach Belt's hard for a conditioned member, but getting into the postseason would be absolutely enormous for this team.
Yeah,
so hopefully they can lock it down, and some wins this weekend would be huge. They also have North Georgia. North Georgia, much more tougher team than Aiken. So this series is absolutely massive. You really want to win this series because if not, you're really it's going to be a challenge against North Georgia. Not saying they can't, but I think that just confidence-wise, you want to win this series because it's certainly winnable doing it at home. USC Aiken just a couple of games over USC and the Stain, so it should be a very evenly matched weekend. I think the pitching of Kinlaw in Murphy, by the way they've been throwing recently. I think that's going to really bode well for him. I have one more parting thought to share, and it's back on the golf side of things. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Heritage is starting, but some big news also dropped in the PGA Tour, and it concerns the Olympics for 2028. The IOC has approved a new competition. It'll be a mixed team event, so men and women competing
Wow.
together in the Olympics, starting in
Ooh, I
28
like
in
that.
Los Angeles,
I
which is
like
a cool
that.
change of pace because you don't
Yeah,
have that good mixed competition in golf and really many
that's
sports. So
that's gonna be cool. I like that idea. That's gonna be
I do
awesome.
too.
That's
yeah,
gonna be great. That's gonna be
I
really
like the
cool.
you know,
I'm intrigued to see where they're gonna play it too. I have a feeling it'll be the Los Angeles Country Club, but I
yeah,
could be wrong. Which
I
is a
would
very prestigious golf club. Of course, just hosted a major last year. So
yeah,
very,
impressive.
very intrigued. I'm intrigued by that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll get to mine. Uh, I do have one. I saw it come across our group chat today that a fellow D2 school in South Carolina is shutting
Unbelievable.
its doors
Wow.
due to financial issues. A member of the Conference Carolinas and South Atlantic Conference, Limestone University,
Mhm.
up in Gaffney, South Carolina, will be closing its doors
Wow.
uh,
Oh my.
due to financial struggles,
Oh
which is
no.
so
Wow.
sad because
Oh
limestone has been around since if I'm not mistaken, the 1800s. Yeah,
yeah,
1845
that's
was
crazy.
when limestone first opened its doors.
Oh.
So, very, very sad situation because we have faced off against limestone in USCB athletics before. I'm pretty sure. So,
Yeah.
we consider them good friends, and I hate seeing something like that. That's just
Yeah.
it sucks, especially for a school that's been around since the
Yeah. I
1800s
mean, almost 200
to
years. So much
close
history
its
there.
doors
Yep.
because they just don't have enough financial stability to have a school continue to go.
Yeah,
It's so sad
especially
to
for a
see them
program
close
that's been around, like as you said, the athletic program we have mentioned. I'm trying to remember some student athletes who competed there, but I just remember I remember just off the top of my head just seeing players either playing going to play limestone or playing for them at certain points, and that's just heartbreaking, especially for those
Yeah, it
young
is.
women and the alumni as well. Just because you see your school, I mean, get all the memories that you made, and to see that program taken away has to be just heartbreaking for them, heartbreaking for the students there, and just for the state of South Carolina in general. It just hurts to see that history. Not, I mean, you'll still remember it, but just the school wiped away is really unfortunate for everyone involved, and
Yeah.
it's just sad to see that for
and
a
it's
school that
yeah.
has made its mark on this community and this state for such a long time.
And especially because, the other thing is athletes are now going to all have to hit the transfer
Right.
portal if they want
Yep,
to continue
that's
playing
stressful.
sports,
Now you gotta find
which
a
is
new
such
home,
a
and
huge
there's no guaran
situation. I
yep,
mean, of course,
That's not
yeah,
going to be easy.
yeah,
that's
this is
not
a
at all,
school that has
especially
two,
especially with a short time frame. If you're playing in,
yeah,
like yeah, that's yeah, that is tough.
it's hard. It's very hard,
Yep.
especially because, well, of course, Limestone has a lot of sports, but they also have a D2 football program, and
Yep.
now all those football players who are getting ready for
Yeah,
spring
I mean, this is
football
the time where,
and getting ready
you're
for the
already
fall.
set most players are already set for where they're gonna be, and now
Right,
Yep.
it's, the
exactly.
mus
And
the
so
musical
now
chairs,
now they have
it's
to,
hard to find a chair
yeah.
at this point.
And now they have to hit the transfer portal. I could only imagine if you were an oncoming, incoming freshman at
Yeah.
Oh,
Limestone,
Well,
how
man.
hard that has to be.
yeah.
I can't imagine, but we'll continue to keep you updated on that stuff because I'm very intrigued by it, and I was so shocked by it too because it's a school I've known about for so many years and a school that
Mhm.
has been part of South Carolina's history
Yes, no doubt.
for 2 centuries, almost 2 centuries, which is crazy to think about,
Yeah.
but it is what it is, and we'll definitely keep you updated on what the situation is. But I've already seen that there have been multiple football players that have already hit the transfer portal, and I'm sure the rest of the team will join as
Rightfully
well,
so.
along with other
Yep.
athletics as well after the spring season is over, of course. So definitely very interesting. Last I checked, they were $30 million in debt.
Oh my.
which is just crazy
Wow.
to think about.
Oof.
Yeah, just crazy to think about. So
It's wild.
definitely keep an eye on that. What was my other one? Oh, my other one today. After 376 days, Spencer Strider returned to the mound for the
Yes, I
Atlanta
saw it.
Braves.
Nice.
Great to see him back on the mound. Not
Yeah.
throwing gas just yet. He's only throwing
Yeah.
96 miles an hour. That's definitely not enough for
Well,
him.
much anticipated, return and one that the Braves desperately need after
Oh
the
God,
start that
do we?
we've seen from them.
We do. We definitely do.
Well,
The other thing I wanted to talk about was another pitcher that has seemed to have struggled since his return from injury, and that is Jacob deGrom has struggled a lot as of late. I don't know what it is, but he has lost almost 4 miles an hour off his fastball. His breaking balls are not moving like they usually do. Through 14 and 2/3 innings up till tonight, he had allowed 6 walks compared to last season when he threw 10 in the third innings and allowed 1 walk, which is definitely a interesting thing to look into.
Yeah.
And he is part of the vital importance to the Texas Rangers because he is one of the key
Jeez.
players for them because for me, they're a swing team. They could either
Yeah,
finish
no doubt.
first in the division or they could finish fourth.
yeah.
And Jacob deGrom is one of the important key figures of that. If he can't figure his stuff out, they're going to be in some serious trouble. So I definitely want to keep an eye on that as the season continues. Of course, we're just at the beginning of the baseball year.
All right, it's April
for
16th. There's a long way to
Major League
go,
Baseball, but we
but
got a lot of
yeah,
baseball left to give. But I'm very excited for Spencer Strider to be back. Ronald Acuna Jr. is
yeah. I mean,
not
you
far
look
out
at just
from
the
on his way
injuries
back either.
that have played Atlanta this year. There's still time. It's very early. I mean, you look at the 19 Nationals and what they did. There is precedent there, but you don't want to dig too much of a hole for yourself because it's hard to come out of if you're at a point where you're just chasing it, and so the Braves are going to have to
The Lowco Sports
Wow,
as
Rick was there?
Not sure what happened there.
yeah.
Sorry, that was weird.
But I would say I will say Mets fans have to be pretty happy about the way that things are going over there so far, and a lot to make of bringing a guy like Juan Soto, who
Yes.
has become just an uh, instant sensation over there, or at least I mean he's found a way to make a decent impact so far. 3 homers, but Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo have been hitting the ball really well.
It's
And
I think
then
it's different.
you have those role
Yeah.
players as well. Jesse Winker as a DH has had a nice start, and then Miguel Senga. The rotation has been pretty solid over there for the Mets. So
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be. It's interesting to see how the division plays out because obviously
That is
Philadelphia.
probably going to be the toughest division this
Yeah.
year in Major League Baseball. I mean, you look at
Yeah.
all the teams. You got the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies are all in
Well, I
contention.
think you have to give some respect to the National League West for how that is going
Yeah, the
right
West
now.
is going to be interesting as well because I mean, the Dodgers might not have this so easy this year in their
No, I
division.
think everyone said it was
Padres,
going to be they were probably the biggest favorite to win the World Series. Um,
but the Padres, man,
yeah, and the Giants are 13 and
and the
5, and
Giants.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very
Giants have been
interesting.
a little bit of a surprise this year. They're 9-3 on the road. They've been a good road team so far.
It's been really good.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, it's April, so don't take everything with a grain of
A
salt.
lot more
Yeah,
baseball. The
Ton
Braves
more.
have come back. The Braves have come back from worse before, so I have a feeling
no
anything
doubt.
can happen.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
baseball.
5-13 is not the end of the world. You still have
Yeah, no,
time, but
anything can
yes,
happen. I mean,
yes, there's a
They did this
162
a
game
few
season
seasons.
for a
They
reason.
did this a few seasons back where they were down by like I think 14, 15 games to the Mets.
Yeah, they're
Came
only
back
6 back,
in
which
the end
seems
and
like a
won the
lot,
division.
but really,
Yeah,
there's a lot of baseball
This
left.
early? Nah.
no,
Come
it's gonna be
come
fun.
talk
But
to me in about a month.
At
If
least
they're
Memorial Day.
still
glad-
back.
I'm glad to see Spencer
Yeah.
Strider back. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
I think
awesome.
on that note, that should do it for us. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank, of course, the viewers and the supporters and the sponsors we have for continuing to help us go and grow as your grassroots coverage of the Low Country sports. seen. And I want to thank my fellow compadres tonight, Marcus Walsh and Wes Kerr, for being on with us tonight. Of course, Justin Jarrett will hopefully be back this week. He was, of course, on the road tonight for a softball game at Bamberg. I do not have a score for that, by the way. I was looking to see if there was a score yet.
I didn't catch anything either.
Just yet. But we wish Justin, well, I think he had just gotten back home right before we started this show. So good to see that he's back home.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, we will be back. We will
one.
definitely be back tomorrow for coverage after round 1 of the 2025 RBC Heritage. And we will definitely keep you updated on that. Of course, if you want to see us and you're at the Heritage tomorrow, myself and Wes Kerr will be on the golf course at the Heritage tomorrow. So if you do see us, give us that big 1L at us, and we'll be there giving it right back at you. And until then, we will see you tomorrow night for coverage of round 1 of the RBC Heritage. And for that, from Marcus Walsh and Wes Kerr, I'm Max Raj. And until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.